In 2010, Princeton researchers found that emotional well-being rises with income, but only up to $75,000 a year. Beyond that, more money changes almost nothing about how you actually feel. Yet people with $10 million still wake up anxious, still compete, still feel like it is not enough. That finding should have liberated an entire generation. It didn't, because the hunger for money was never really about money. Something older is running the program, something your rational mind has no direct access to. So the question isn't how much you need. The question is, who decided you needed it in the first place? This channel exists in the space between what you're told and what is actually happening. What you're about to hear is not a guide to getting rich. It is a deconstruction of why wealth and status occupy such a disproportionate amount of your mental and emotional life. Understanding this won't just change how you think about money, it will change how you read people, including the most powerful people in any room you walk into. There are 3 layers to this. The ancient hierarchy wired into your nervous system, the neuroscience of scarcity that makes you irrational, and the machinery that exploits both, deliberately, systematically, and profitably. Pay attention. Long before currency existed, your ancestors lived in small, tribal groups. Position within that group was not a luxury, it was survival. Higher status individuals ate first. They had more mates, more protection, more access to resources. Low status individuals died younger. This wasn't culture, it was biology. That system did not disappear when you got a bank account. It moved underground, into your neuroendocrine system. Researchers studying social hierarchies in primates found that dominance rank directly determines serotonin levels. Higher rank, higher baseline serotonin. Lower rank, chronically lower levels. The chemical signature of depression and low status overlap almost completely. You are not anxious about money because of the money itself. You are anxious because somewhere deeper than thought, your nervous system is tracking your position in the hierarchy, and it is telling you whether you are safe. Consider what happened to John Regis, the founder of Adelphia Communications, once worth billions. When a fraud scandal stripped him of wealth and status simultaneously, people close to him described watching a man physically collapse, not just financially, biologically. The status loss registered in his body like a mortal wound. That is not weakness. That is ancient wiring doing exactly what it was designed to do. The disturbing truth is this: the drive you call ambition may not be desire at all. It may be fear. Specifically, the fear of falling in the hierarchy. And fear is a far more powerful motivator than aspiration. In 2013, a landmark study published in Science documented something that should disturb you deeply. Researchers gave cognitive tests to sugarcane farmers in India, once before harvest, when money was scarce, and once after harvest, when money was abundant. The same people scored significantly lower on fluid intelligence during scarcity. The mental bandwidth consumed by financial stress was equivalent to losing 13 IQ points. 13 points. That is the cognitive gap between a below-average and above-average performer. Scarcity does not just stress you. It literally makes you less intelligent, less patient, and less capable of long-term thinking. Sendhil Mullainathan, one of the study's authors, called this the bandwidth tax. Every dollar of financial worry you carry costs you cognitive capacity. You make worse decisions precisely when the stakes demand your best thinking. Now here is the darker layer. This isn't just a passive side effect of poverty. The scarcity mindset can be triggered without any real scarcity at all. Studies show that simply reminding people of financial uncertainty, showing them an unpaid bill, a job loss statistic, activates the same tunneled, short-term cognition as actual deprivation. Your brain cannot distinguish the threat from the symbol of the threat. It reacts the same way to a news headline as it does to an empty bank account. This is your most critical vulnerability. And there are systems in the world that know it. They have known it for decades. Think about who benefits most when you are in a scarcity mindset. When you are tunneled, short-sighted, and emotionally reactive. Financial advertising is engineered around this. The payday loan industry does not accidentally target people already under stress. That is the product. A brain under financial pressure loses the capacity to calculate long-term cost accurately. The numbers stop making sense. What feels like a rational decision in that state would never survive clear-headed scrutiny. The same principle operates in luxury marketing, but inverted. Here, the scarcity is artificial. Limited editions, exclusive memberships. The implied message is always the same. Someone is above you. You could join them, or you could fall further behind. Both directions of pressure, upward aspiration and downward fear, exploit the same hierarchical wiring, the same ancient circuitry that tracked your position in a tribe of 150 people now gets hijacked to sell you things you do not need, using emotions you did not choose to have. But here is where this knowledge becomes power, rather than victimhood. When you understand the mechanism, you can interrupt it. Not perfectly, not always. The circuits are old and they are fast. But the moment you feel the pull of status-based spending, you can ask a different question. Not, can I afford this? But how, which part of my nervous system is asking for this? And what is it actually afraid of? That pause, that single moment of identification. It changes your relationship to the trigger. You don't eliminate the wiring. You learn to see it operating in real time. That is the difference between being driven by it and driving yourself. Now for the part that reframes everything. Remember the Princeton study from the beginning. Well-being plateaus at $75,000. Most people hear that and think, then why do the wealthy keep pushing? The answer is not greed, not irrationality. The answer is that past a certain point, money stops being about resources entirely. It becomes a number on a scoreboard. And the scoreboard is tracking something else: status, relative position. The ancient question, am I above or below? A man with $50 million does not look at a man with $500 million and feel secure. He feels the same neural alarm that a low-ranking primate feels watching a dominant male approach. The dollar amounts are irrelevant. The hierarchy is eternal. This is the revelation. You will never win a competition designed to trigger your survival instincts. The finish line was never built to be reached. It was built to keep you running. The people who actually escape this loop are not the ones who earn the most. They are the ones who consciously redefine what the scoreboard is tracking. They redirect the hierarchy drive toward mastery, toward integrity, toward a metric that they control and that cannot be taken by markets or opinion. That is not a soft idea. That is the hardest psychological work a person can do. And it begins the moment you see the machine for exactly what it is. You came here thinking about money. You're leaving with something more valuable, a map of the machinery operating beneath your financial decisions every single day. This is the kind of knowledge that changes how you read a room. how you evaluate your own choices, and how you recognize when someone is pulling a lever they know you have. If this opens something for you, subscribe. There is more to explore in this space. Manipulation, perception, the psychology of power. It goes deeper than most people are willing to go. But you're already here. So clearly, you are not most people. I'll see you in the shadows.